and welcome to the Battlefield ESL 1 final group of the day. We have some great games coming up for you. I am Lauren Pansy Scott, your host and commentator for this evening. And as you can tell, there's a little bit of an empty space next to me where Jason once was. But there is someone just, you know, I kind of hyped it up earlier, and I was saying there's someone that I could surprise you with, that I was going to bring in that could change the world and everything about it. Alex, how are we doing?
Hello.
I tried to hype you up.
The ghost of Jason Kaplan, I'm here. Hello.
You good?
Sat beside you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. Excited to cast some Battlefield 4, I think.
Yeah, that is what is exactly on the cards. And if you don't know who this beautiful man is, he is a co-caster from many years ago. He is the MTC, live from Skype next to me.
I look great.
You look better than normal. It's a great improvement.
I do. I think that's a statement.
Even that aside, do let us know your feedback as well. Do make sure you get onto Twitter towards him and tell him what you think of his casting today, because, you know, adding on pressure always makes shows more fun. But speaking of what we were saying originally, it's all about the final group of the day. We're calling it Group D because, well, its actual title is the ESL 1 Go For Finals. So that doesn't sound as cool, but it is pretty damn cool. It gives another chance to some of the teams who didn't quite make it through from Group A, B, and C, but also had enough points in the Go For series, which takes place every Sunday at ESL, to be able to get into the offline finals.
So this is kind of the last chance saloon, then?
Exactly that. And, you know, there's some good teams in here, I'm not going to deny it, and there's only one team qualifying. It's not like it's an easy group to get through, let's put it that way. Every team could have had a chance to go into this, only some were able to do so. So one team will qualify in the normal amount of games. And let's have a look at the overall standings so far of who's kind of going to be coming in where on this one. So starting off will be Alton up against Infamous. I'm not going to watch that one because I feel it might be a little bit one-sided. Infamous have been pretty strong so far, Alex.
Yeah, you were saying that they're kind of, they relied a lot around the FAMAS players. This is something I was kind of taking note of earlier. Very kind of aggressive players. And with that taken away, maybe the game's not going to be as close as you, or as far away from close as you think.
Yeah, it could be closer. That's the thing. It's very hard to predict. But on paper, it's a little bit one-sided. So I thought, let's go for the game that was a little bit closer. Let's go for the game where two teams we've seen a lot of that just didn't quite cut the mustard in the previous groups. But then again, ESC were in a group with Fnatic and MYM. A little bit hard there. And myRevenge had GC, Planet Key, and Team Dignitas in their previous group. So those two, I feel, will be a closer one. And I'm not too sure what to expect, to be fair. ESC did have a fairly close game against Fnatic not too long ago.
Yeah, and myRevenge is a team that kind of have been around, an organisation rather, that have been around in all these games, and they always have these teams that are just kind of breaching and challenging these top tier teams, and it'd be interesting to see if the Battlefield 4 can really stand the test of time against the ESC, who you were saying are someone you definitely want to watch.
Oh, most certainly. I've said it every damn season, and they always seem to just somehow let me down because they're absolute scumbags. It's like, they've got so much potential, and we're going to see none of it. But still, let's find out.
Maybe today, here on Lancang Dam.
Maybe. And as you said, first map will be Lancang Dam. We can start talking about it in a second, but if we can have a little brief overview of the entire group stages of what we've seen so far, Group A, B, and C, you can see the teams who have qualified. So out of Group A, Epsilon and Exertus. Group B, Fnatic, Meet Your Makers. And Group C, Gamers Connection, Planet Key Dynamics. That's a pretty prestigious bunch there, isn't it?
It's a good-looking lineup so far. Obviously, you were saying the kind of Fnatic really, as always, are kind of just leading the way in all of these Battlefield results. Yet to drop a map, I believe?
I think they may have dropped one. But
a single map. Is that MYM?
That's pretty ridiculous. It probably was MYM, if
that would be my guess.
It's been pretty obscene with Fnatic. They've looked unstoppable since the offline finals last time around, and they've kind of carried on that form throughout the cup stages, finishing first in every single one. So kind of difficult to predict how they're going to do in the offline finals. And, you know, is there anyone who can really challenge them? Even in this group, you know, that's coming up, the Go For qualified group, there's a lot to be said about these teams who are trying to make their way forward, try and prove themselves into this one. So let's hope they can actually do the job here, because there certainly needs to be a little bit more competition. But yes, as said, ESC up against myRevenge will be the first game here today. And as you noted, first map will be Lancang Dam. Now, Lancang Dam, not often played, to be fair. It's been a little bit of not an unknown map, but it's been so decisive. It's very brave to come up on the first one on Lancang Dam. It's not something that we regularly see coming up between these teams. It's a little bit of an all-in. You know, we see a lot of trip caps, we see a lot of extended 2-to-1 holds, and those tickets just start flooding away from people.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to bring up the word that I am kind of, I hate to love or love to hate with Battlefield, and that's Levolution. Now, when I was casting this game before, there was a real kind of engineer class hype where there was just a lot of early destruction. Is that something we're going to see on Lancang Dam, or is this more of a kind of all or nothing, guns blazing kind of?
Do you know what? You do raise a good point there, actually. I completely forgot about this, and you mentioned it. Now, the last time we saw Lancang Dam, I'm trying to think who it was between. I think it was Fnatic against someone. It was a bit of a stomp. But we saw the opposing side actually running with the engineers to take down some of the walls. It's a near unsymmetrical map here. You can kind of slice it in the middle, and you get what you want. You know, right down the middle of B. And when you start off, obviously, it's either A or C that's closest towards you. They took the engineer class with those rocket launchers, shot straight across towards the other A or C site, whichever they were on, and they opened up, excuse me, a little bit of a different hole to come out, and it made a lot more possibility. Certainly something we might see here. It depends how much they've been kind of keeping
I'm
note.
intrigued. Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about SMG class and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we're going to be seeing a lot of the assault class, but with this map being as small and kind of confined, well, obviously there is the outside area, but most of the action is going to be kind of in those buildings. The SMG will still be relevant. Maybe that, or maybe some more of the kind of close quarters AK work. Maybe, I mean, Drunks—he's a fan of it.
Yeah, you bring up Drunks there, and he does often pick up the AEK on this one. It's something that can be viable, but it kind of defines where you're playing then. If they see, oh, okay, Drunks has picked this up, he's going to have to play here, or they're going to have to play this style. And it does limit some of the play, but then again, as you said, even for quite an open map on paper, most of the exchanges do go down quite close quarter combat. So it could be certainly a possibility there. I'd like to see him play myself. I think it's a really good weapon, the AK. We've been seeing the ACWR coming into effect as well, a little bit of a hip-fire reliant gun, but it works. So, who am I to judge if it does actually work? We are just waiting on the teams to get their fifth in. I think ESCs did just drop out. You gotta love it, right, guys?
There's always a bit of a bad rep. You mentioned hipfire. There's always a bit of a bad rep for hipfire. I feel like people don't appreciate that. You're still aiming. You're still aiming with hipfire. There's a lot of people that scowl at people who get lucky. I'm doing my fingers. You can't see me because I'm in the invisible seat. But the kind of the lucky hipfire. But I think a lot of it comes down to kind of keeping the person in the middle of those 4 dots. That's what I'm saying.
Yes and no. I'm of the same kind of thing where it's like, oh, I just died to someone just spraying down. It's pretty frustrating.
It's lucky. Yeah, I understand
sometimes. That. But then again, you can only do it fairly close range. So if you know that someone's playing this spot and you're just running in and you know that they may be playing with the ACWR, you're kind of walking into it. It's like going, well, I've got the Scar H and I'm just going to run at these guys with FAMASes and then be really annoyed when the hip fire's better. It's like, well, there is literal percentages and, the mathematical workout of some of these guns. You're going to lose that on paper. You might be lucky and pick it up, but there is some skill. I don't want to say too much, but there's some.
Okay.
There's minimal amounts. But obviously, while we're waffling away, guys at home, do get involved on Twitter and all of the other ways you can get here, towards us in the studio. Because I do like hearing from you. Otherwise, I'm just sat here talking to Alex, which is absolutely dire. And if you do want to check out all the results leading up to this, do head over towards esl-1.com/battlefield. Check out all the cups, all the replays, all the game introductions, the map introductions. There's a hell of a lot of content up there for you guys to get involved. And you can see it right on the screens just down below there, where Invisible Alex is pretending to sit. So certainly something to keep your eyes on, and do get involved with us here. And I do want to get your feedback on Alex's casting. We want to give him a trial by fire, guys. You've had to deal with me and Jason. Tell us your thoughts on poor little Alex coming into the fold. I think we're still waiting on a 5th member to rejoin us here. Now it's from myRevenge. This is just uncool. That it's like initially I was like, do you know what, ESC? At least you're back with us. But no, now myRevenge like the look of that. They're like, well, we're going to disconnect as well. And there we go. We have 5 players for both teams on the server, so we can get into this in just a second. Do not fear. But let us know your predictions, obviously, on Twitter, Facebook, and all the other places. And Alex, what's your thoughts on this? Is there anyone you're kind of tipping to be the better team here?
Well, just looking at past results and obviously the couple of standout players for ESC, I'm going to be putting my proverbial money there. But I mean, I don't know.
I think it's probably the safer bet.
Yeah, exactly. Safer bet. My game's just crashed, so I'm going to get back into game while you tell us what we're going to expect to see numbers-wise.
Sure it's not just restarting? Because mine's just kind of gone black.
No, I have a proper message of errors, so
it's
you go
like,
mad.
Whoa, hold on. And doing the same, I think. So we might have to take some more time. Time. Hold on. Let me just double check. So do bear with us, guys. Obviously, we are trying to make this one work. And yes, my game is just like, no. There was too many people looking like you are ready to get underway into this game. Not anymore. I will be rejoining the server, so do bear with us as we try and get this one going. But it's the way it goes. Let's be serious here. As soon as it almost gets ready, it's just like, no, you wait longer.
Well, what were we talking about before we got so rudely disconnected? We were talking about the way we thought this game was going to go. We're both looking kind of edging towards the ESC side of things.
Yes.
And the reason for that, I've been told, and the way when I've seen them play, is they do just seem like really strong individuals, as well as being that kind of strong
Team
five.
Jera. Team Jera.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know
I didn't
what I
want to
mean?
just bring up one name, but yeah.
No, Jera is a solid player. He can play at the high level. He's a bit hit and miss, though. He doesn't always have like the most solid games in the world, but when he does, he's pretty awesome, and he's got the ego to match it. I think anyone will tell you that, but
ego is important.
It is to an extent. You've got to be confident in your own plays. You know what I mean? So, yes and no. For me, I think he is probably one of the better players on that team, but it depends whether or not he actually turns up on the day. Sometimes I've seen him, bottom fragging for quite some time and then maybe waking up a little later on. So hopefully we can see him doing well here today. I don't know if this is a map that suits him. It's a little bit hit and miss. I haven't seen these guys on this map in a long time. Most people do just leave this one out on its own. Normally it's your Dawnbreaker, your Siege of Shanghai, those kind of maps in constant rotation. So it's a little unique that we're seeing this one come to the forefront, really. And then we're going to have Railway and then Dawnbreaker. So it's like the two most probably unplayed maps actually coming into effect on this one, considering it's such a an important game. I find that quite, not worrying, but I think, these teams are certainly trying out something new, trying something that maybe the other teams haven't seen during their qualifying games, which probably isn't a bad idea, to be fair. So I think we are just going to hopefully get this one underway. Are you back in the server?
I most definitely am.
Okay,
I think we're going to be ready to get into this one.
There we are. Obviously, we are to go for one more restart and we'll get underway. I'll take you through the lineups once we get into this. I don't want to jump the gun here. I get a little nervous when I see... Oh, wow.
Has yours done it as well?
I think it has. This is not going well. And I'm not sure why, which is the more important factor. Considering we were able to spec perfectly up till now, I think we need to let the admins know once again there might be a bit of an issue here, guys. So do it. Just guys at home, help us out. Go on Twitter and talk to us, because we need some help here. As my game's just chilling out. It's having a great time. Ladies and gents, it's good to be back with you, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be esports if there weren't some sort of delays. We're bringing you them nice and fresh this time with server crashes. Let's see if I can get back in the server this time. There we go. So, Lauren, I'm going to keep quizzing you because you are no doubt the BF4 queen. People in chat are asking, is this competitive Battlefield 4? Well, the answer to that is yes. But, I mean, for you, the standout team, we've mentioned Fnatic. I don't want to do that again.
Yep.
But going into the offline kind of section of this, where are you seeing this going? Pretend Fnatic don't exist. Who's going to be the real challengers? Are you looking at Epsilon?
I think it's the only way to do it. Epsilon, they kind of disappointed me last time, but then again, a lot of team did. It's okay. Offline Battlefield, when they're all in the same place at the same time, is completely random to an extent. Teams that qualified in last are finished in the top 3, and you always see this kind of different turnaround. So the big thing for me is I start weighing up the teams right in this stage. The Cups are good. They start building up consistency, but they don't show you the breakout plays. And it's once you get to this point into the group stages, you start seeing the real head runners starting to edge ahead a bit more, and then the offline finals hit, and you're like, whoa, what the hell happened? Suddenly a team who could barely scrape into the quarters or the semi-finals during the cup stages is getting through the groups. They're getting through the playoffs. They're getting to the semi-finals. You're like, whoa, okay, this is getting a little bit worrying. So the thing is that, yes, on paper, in theory, this should be another season for Fnatic. You never know. A team could put in the hard work, find the anti-strats, find the way around, and come out on top. So there's certainly possibilities there for these guys. We are just trying to get this one started. I'm going to tell the admin. We're going to give it another go.
Drum roll, please.
Alrighty. No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
No, that's...
Well, I'm glad it's not just me. I mean, that would be worse. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a little look at the details of my crash.
Okay, well, yeah, it's not going too well so far, ladies and gents. I do apologise. And the worrying factor is there's a whole nother game here tonight, so this could be a late night for us.
Do you know what's exciting though is you're actually fortunately getting to just look at Lauren. Me in my invisible chair.
You're just chilling,
just still filling the void.
Yeah,
I'm really comfortable right now.
You scumbag.
So Lauren will entertain you with some kind of hand dancing or whatever you can see. Oh, they can see kind of upper body, some full kind of
Wow, some upper body.
Some dancing. Upper body dancing.
Upper body dancing, right. I'll bring that out, you know.
You whip out the upper body dancing, keep them entertained, while I try and get back in the server for the fourth time.
Well, I think we're going to be changing server because that one's just having none of it. Yeah. I think it's more an issue on that sort of front. So hopefully that'll be resolved nice and quickly. But it does mean we can have a little chat, Alex, because normally I try and be professional, but then when this starts happening, it just kind of goes out the window. So,
okay, well, talking of professionalism, before we jump away from professionalism,
okay.
You occasionally run around on Battlefield. I've seen a lot of people talking about weapons in chat. That's people kind of saying, "Oh, I like the MTAR, various weapons like that." Mm-hmm. For you, when you're running around, let's throw competitive out the window. What are you running around with? Give us an insight into your Battlefield experience.
I'm going to check out the most played gun for myself because I actually.
Oh, do it. That'll be interesting.
Okay, if you guys played Battlefield, right at the very start, everyone tried their heart out for a long time, and then. There was this thing. If you know Jack Frags, he did this video about this Easter egg with this megalodon shark, and I had great stats until a point, and they went downhill because I was running around looking for this gigantic shark. So, my most played gun is the Ace 23 because I like OP weapons.
Yeah. So basically, the weapon that everyone uses in competitive.
To an extent, but then I really liked the M416 as well and the AK-12. Even though they're some of the more basic ones, I actually really enjoyed them. Generally, that's pretty much what I go with. I've tried snipers out and I didn't like them. But yeah, the AK-12 actually felt really good for such an early gun. Same with the M416. I've actually stuck with that. And we still occasionally see that coming into play nowadays. But there is no statistical advantage to it. There's literally nothing that says that gun is better than any of the others. Generally, you know, the guns they play with are the best all-rounders. But if it feels right, you know what I mean? Sometimes it may not be the best on paper, but to me, I really enjoyed the way those played out, and I used to have good stats and was fairly impressive, and then the Megalodon just kind of ruined it.
I have seen the Megalodon. It was I think it was worth ruining your KDA for that.
I think it was. It was just more the amount of hours I spent swimming around in this sodding map. But,
knifing the water.
Oh, don't. There were so many things I tried. It was just like, okay, I'm going to put my helicopter. There was like this arrow pointing in a certain direction.
They worked out what it was, didn't they? There was something about players on the server, I think.
Yeah, I can't even remember it. I think it was by this little. Is it a buoy? I don't know what it is. You know the little things.
A buoy. Yeah,
those things.
A buoy.
I don't know.
You've spent too long in Germany. What's happening?
I don't know, Alex. But no, that was something to do with that, and this huge shark just comes out of nowhere. But it's pretty cool, actually. I actually do like all the Easter eggs in Battlefield 4, and they're damn hard to find. Like the Yeti
it's a proper
one.
Easter egg.
Did you ever see the Yeti one where you shoot a rocket in a certain direction? You get this huge Yeti sound when it hits like one of the absolute mile away things, and then. Another is a T-Rex sound. They found this outside of the actual map. I know we're discussing something that's slightly off the topic of esports because we're just trying to see if this works. But there was someone found like a random little button, and also they found a goat. You know, in Jurassic Park, they feed the velociraptors a goat, I think it is, and they like drop it in.
Yeah.
It kind of happened exactly like that. Like, oh, maybe there's a T-Rex on here somewhere, you know. And then someone found out that actually, if you press, I think it's 2 buttons at the same time on the map. You get the sound, which is and like rustling in the bushes. It's actually really cool. Like I actually really like.
I like that. I'm trying to think of the other Easter eggs in Battlefield. I haven't seen any of the other ones on YouTube. I'll need to have a
Phantom
scroll.
Project, I think, is still ongoing. There was like a new one coming out, or a new one that's been kind of toyed with.
I like that.
I think it's really awesome.
There's still the unsolved one on Grand Theft Auto as well. Jumping on another game.
Do you mean the spaceship thing?
Yeah, something about a spaceship and some aliens.
The island, No, the island.
Oh, I've just crashed again. Is that you as well?
No, I'm loading into it this time. Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe that was just you. I'm going to try and connect here. We'll see if this works.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah, let's see if this goes. Oh, uh-oh. Nope, I'm good.
Oh, well, lucky for you. I'm going to come in as well.
All right. Oh, other players dropped, though. I don't think they're going live just yet, so don't worry, guys. We are just testing this round. We want to make sure it's all good.
Yeah, I think I need to go do my hair. I think I'm looking a bit messy actually on stream.
You look better than normal, Alex. Normally you don't even turn up. You know, you're just chilling out.
I do feel like I'm being a bit transparent with you guys, though.
Oh, the puns are horrific. Jesus Christ. Can't take you seriously, Alex. People just see right through you. Anyway, we need to wait for these guys to get started. And oh god, I can't even help myself now. Waiting on the fast player from ESC, the last player from ESC to join us here, and then we'll give it a good go again and see if it works out. But we'll find out in a moment's time. All good and fun. But no, that's not your favourite Easter eggs in games. Actually, that's one thing I used to love looking for these things. I thought it was really really cool. And there's been a couple of games recently that actually like full on include like mini games in them. If you find out, I think it was like the Wolfenstein thing. I think if you had a dream or something in a certain way, you ended up playing the original 3D Wolfenstein, which was really cool, I think. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other Easter eggs in this game. Because there was that really cool sound file that was played in the last Battlefield if you did something very specifically. But no, I think it's really awesome. Cause,
I hope there's some more to find.
you know, they'll add them with patches regardless. It's like, I'd love to say they were hidden from the start, but every time there's like a new
if I was a game
DLC,
developer, I would claim that it was there from the start.
lie profusely.
Yeah.
We never changed it.
Yeah, it was there. I can't believe you guys took so long to find it.
God,
you found it the day of the new patch? Oh, that's just
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, I don't want to get premature, but moving away from ESC, let's talk about myRevenge. We know, would you safely say you know kind of the least about them in regards to these kind of this 4 team?
Well, apart from the Polish side of, gosh, I can't even remember the blooming names now. Terrible, fire me. Yes, Alson. Yeah. They didn't feature in this season. They come from the A series, and they obviously play in the Go Force as well. I don't know much about them. But myRevenge, I didn't actually get to watch them because in Group C, there was 3 very strong teams that we ended up following. And myRevenge lost a Gamers Connection. And
I mean, they took a map off Dignitas. Where does that kind of paint any sort of picture of where they're going to be kind of performing in this game?
Dig themselves will tell you they did not have a good performance this season.
Right, okay.
So I don't think we can read too much into that. So hopefully, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to read into these. I try and take it opponent against different opponent because it's very hard to say, you know, the sweeping statement of, oh, well, they got a map against these guys, but these guys are better than those, therefore you should pick up a map. It doesn't always work that way. So at the moment, I'm not too sure. I think it'll be an interesting one to see at the moment. I just haven't seen enough of myRevenge. They're one of the lower qualifying in teams. They're not, you know, exactly in the top 5. I never really, I know it sounds bad, but I never really paid too much attention to them until they get through the first round. Yeah, it most certainly is. So it gives them a chance maybe to get through to here because let's bear in mind, one of the final teams to qualify into the last couple of seasons have gone into the top 3. So, you know, sometimes these teams that come out of nowhere really do bring a lot of attention to their gameplay. So.
And it really does demonstrate, you know, the kind of the power of the Go 4. These guys probably, like you said, you paid very little attention to them. They've turned up, played some cups, and now they're with a chance playing against, you know, some of the greats of their game. And that's really good to see what Go 4 can bring. And it also shows that, you know, if you guys in chat feel like you're watching myRevenge, like, oh, we could be doing this, you can. I mean, next time. Could be you.
Over. Yeah. And obviously, it's not just the fact that they get to play against good teams. There's also 30 grand on the line, which isn't too bad. You know what I mean? It's only a little bit of chump change. 30 grand waiting for the team that obviously walks away with the first place. But it does give them a chance and, you know, a possibility of picking up without even having to qualify into the main ESL 1 series. So quite impressive. So I'm just waiting to see what's going on here. So ESC having more troubles. This is going to be a long night. Are you ready for this, Alex? Do you remember when we used to cast for like 20 million hours for like
and Phil for 5 of them?
Yeah, it was great back in the day. Do you remember that when we were like living on floors? It was some good times, man. Some good times.
Good times indeed.
Many I-series.
Oh, I nearly forgot all about them.
Oh no, you can never forget. They scar you for life.
No, they're a great experience.
They're a unique experience.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. I'm going back for the latest one.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kind of, I feel like going back to the roots. You should. Me and Mark Horner are going back. Even
I'm definitely
D-Man,
coming.
maybe Joe. Oof. Big.
Sounds like
big
a great combo. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, might enter some terrible competition together.
Go see Zane Lowe.
Oh, if only I could come across on the Friday. I've got a show on that day, and I'm gutted for it. Absolutely gutted. I'd love to see Zane Lowe. Because he's a great DJ, you know what I mean?
Top accent.
Oh, it was sick, wasn't it? I've been working real hard on that.
So, still waiting on the ESC player. Just having a little look at the scoreboard. Who are we waiting on? I'm not going to be able to tell you.
I loved the attempt, though. I loved it.
I was seeing if I could recognise a missing name.
So it's Jera, Benny, Hupsuck,
I was going to say Jera,
and... Oh, no, Jera's Pew Pew Turtle. He's
exactly. That was my mistake.
Yeah, like a scumbag. Who does that? So, come on. Come on. He come back. Here we go. Benny. We've got many stories about Benny I could tell you guys at home. Benny got very, very inebriated in the last offline finals, and he was a funny man when he gets like that. Tiny little creature, but drinks a hell of a lot.
For his size. That's nice.
Yeah, it was impressive more than anything. And it's going to be a bit of a shame. The Finnish guys from Dignitas, not actually joining us this time around. They're normally the, let's say, the reason of Battlefield. They're the good fun ones who enjoy a tipple or two. And I'm certainly going to miss them, actually. It's a bit of a shame they're not going to be joining us. But I'm sure these guys can step up. There's always Fnatic, you know. Most serious people in the world. But then again, I am in the Valutaja fan club. Would you like to join me in that, by the way, the Valutaja fan club?
I think I'm going to have to watch him play some more first.
Yeah?
I'm not really willing to commit my fandom for him.
Yeah, he's a bit of a badass.
Well, I mean, you say that they're kind of super serious, and maybe with their results, it suggests that might be working for them.
Yeah, you know, it certainly does well. The best thing was, though, Valu came to the event, you know, first day here. He brings me breakfast. I was like, this is the best player ever. I love that guy. I was just like, well, that's made rehearsals a lot better. And
that also means, you know, I think I might understand where the Valutaja fan club came from.
Hey, I was a part of that way
Bribes,
before.
I see.
No,
Bribes.
No, I deny completely and utterly. No, but honestly, like, that guy's been playing video games longer than I have. No, yeah, he has been. He's a bit of a monster. Every game he goes to, he always ends up winning. It's actually impressive that someone can go to that many different games and be that good at all of them. It kind of breaks my heart.
Where did he spawn at? What game was he starting at?
Probably enemy territory or Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and then just played everything and anything for money. And there you have it. He wins all of it. He's a bit of an Estonian monster. He's a good gamer, but we are still waiting on ESC's 5th. I know you like staring at just my face, which is a bit upsetting. Like normally I can just kind of like palm it off onto Jason, like, hey Jace, just fill for an hour. Not the case today. I've got Alex being invisible and me being a little tired. It doesn't really equate to a great show just of yet, but it will. It will.
It will. It certainly will. And should we jump back into the game we're about to talk about? Should we talk about Battlefield a little bit?
Well, we could.
We don't have to. I mean,
no, we can chill out. We're having a good time. You know what? I might just go to Twitch chat and chill out with you guys, because you know, like.
Oh, we got someone loving Benny in chat. Good man. I see some Benny fans. Maybe I should join the Benny fan club. That seems like a place I should stay.
Whoa. The Valutaja fan club has buttons though.
And breakfasts.
Yeah, and breakfasts. Really good. Really good.
Your smile, Pansy, is dangerous.
Is that from the Naughty Lemon?
It might be.
Of course, it's from the Naughty Lemon. There's only one. But yeah, I'm looking at Twitch chat. There was no cappers, therefore I turned around. Come on, Twitch chat. Give me some kappa. I need some happiness in my life right now.
I remember when kappa was a sportswear brand.
It was never a cool one, though, was it?
I don't know. All the cool guys had it.
I had a pair of the shoes, I think. And then my mom threw them away, and I was really sad. Oh, I went for the trackies. I was more of a Nike kid.
I was a youth.
Ute.
Ute.
There's no H on the end of that. But no, we are still waiting here.
Is it the ESC member? Yeah, it's one more. And now a horrible feeling with this round being complete. I could disappear from this game again. But this is probably the longest I've actually been in the server.
That's true. You're improving, which is a bonus. Let's see. Dogbert talking about me being a great gamer. No, Dogbert, we're talking about Valutaja. You are a terrible gamer. And do you know Dogbert now actually works with Sam Millen?
He does.
It's amazing. It's a small world. It's a very small world. I had that song in my head for a little while. It's really good though. I was like, wow, gamers coming together. Whoa.
We're just a community, and it's all going everywhere.
It's all going everywhere. Just letting them know we are ready whenever we can.
That's exciting.
Well, it will be competitive Battlefield very soon. Duke. Hey, Duke. Duke deserves a fan club. He's pretty good at the game. But he doesn't bring me breakfast, so... You know, not as cool. But yeah, I'd say Epsilon are the only ones who can actually challenge Fnatic at the moment.
Okay.
But
I mean,
that's because Duke's in chat,
results.
so I was like, woo.
But I mean, I seem to remember MYM putting up some good performances. Maybe not this time round, but I seem to remember MYM were quite feared last time I was commentating Battlefield 4.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Certainly a team to watch. Have a little look at their route. Let's have a little route through their bracket.
Do me a favour. Let's see if the game's actually working.
I'm still rocking Lancang Dam.
You loading in?
Yeah, I am.
Whoa, hold on. I'm getting excited. I'm getting a little excited.
Haven't crashed. Live after restart.
Oh.
We still don't have an ESC member, though.
Are you kidding me?
I can only see 4. Benny, Doobie, Toffee, and Hupsucks.
Jera. Jera is not a cool dude right now. Jera is not cool.
Where did the turtle go?
The turtle ran away. All right, wild turtle just escaping. Dear Lord. Where is this guy? Jera, how can you not manage to be on a server? Really?
We're not live then, I assume.
No, we are not
Despite
live.
them saying live.
No. Naughty Lemon. I love the way you're still here. It's incredible. This guy, right? This guy.
Tell me all about him.
He made a beautiful blog on HLTV, I think it was, or it was just a normal post, and it was just incredible. Like it was a maturation. I can't ask him to quote some of it. It's pretty impressive.
Okay.
The other game has just finished. You know, when I was like choosing the better game, I was like, hey, this would be more exciting. Sometimes I wish I just went for the stomp because that'd be much easier.
Okay, well, I mean, this game is just so close because it hasn't even started yet. That's how exciting it is.
That's a really good point.
That's how intense it is. It's so intense, it hasn't even started.
All right, well, if this doesn't change, in the next minute, we're going to go to a short break, I feel. Because otherwise, we're just chilling out for far too long. I'm hoping that the player comes back very soon.
Let's see if we can do that for you. I'm still waiting for the Naughty Lemon in chat to give me a quote from his blog.
He will, I promise you. Jera crashed. Okay, I think it's best we go to a very short break. If we can come back straight away, we will. We're just going to wait on these guys to all get in the server. As soon as it starts going live, we'll just cut straight into game. But until then, guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in 5, hopefully, with the game starting. Alrighty, guys, we are finally back, and everything seems to be working for now. Let's dive straight into game and get this one underway. So, on the Russian side, it will be myRevenge. On the Chinese side, it will be their opponents. ESC. So take us away into this one, Alex. What are we seeing so far?
Right, well, I'm just going to see what's going on. Obviously, we're going to be expecting most of that action around that B site. We're seeing 3 players from myRevenge straight on that site. Actually, they're going to be kind of first on the scene, as it were. See what Toffee and the ESC guys are going to bring it. Obviously, the star player right now is going to be Jera, going to be starting up that fray. Nice play from him, opening up that site. Starting to go towards that Chinese side in the hands of ESC. Now, right now, this is a very nice early cap. I want to know what you think exactly myRevenge can be doing to take this back. I see 2 or 3 players kind of leaving that A site, obviously going to be spawning there. And we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, myRevenge certainly had a better start, but they just kind of got challenged. And it looks like ESC are trying to focus on the outside area, pushing in. It's going to allow the likes of Doobie to pick up a kill there towards Donut. And now maybe focusing on the... Actually, look at this, though. Doobie could just go straight towards A here. There's a possibility that they can get a 2-1 without even going into B.
Yeah, and I'm seeing absolutely no defensive players or from ESC. And I'm looking at this Doobie right now. We're going to be one-on-one up against AD. It's actually going to be going up that ladder to defend. In the meantime, I think that's going to maybe cost him as the site. He's going to lose the site. He's going to wake up and kind of panic, get off that ladder, looking to defend now. There's 2 players there, and he does his job down onto Jera. So not bad work in the meantime. Doobie's going to be picking up, trying to pick up a frag. Him and AD actually to have a little dance around these boxes. There's 2 players hunting him. It's going to be nice play from Jera to finally bring him down, and that's going to be a bit more pressure on the myRevenge side. See,
and even with that said and done, I've got to say it though, ESC were kind of pushed out of the site. They weren't able to hold on towards A. They struggled. Wall now just pushed in, picked it up by himself, and they've kind of forced him back a little bit. Challenge down on B, but I don't think they're going to get too much lucky. A couple of players trying it. Toffee does get one. He's even got a respawn in. I think that was a mistake of getting the respawn on top of them. Too much commitment from ESC there. But they do have the back spawn towards A, so Jera could do some work here by the A flag.
Yeah, actually nice retake from myRevenge. They managed to force the ESC side outside, which is something they wanted to be here initially. ESC wanted to be outside, but now look at these really fast spawns. See Doobie right away from all of the action right now. And actually myRevenge looking to hold on to this A site. He's looking to be questioned though by Toffee, who seems to just be a roaming god right now, charging around these sites, just applying pressure where he needs to. He's going to pick up another one yet again, obviously, with the Ace 23. And now him and Benny from ESC are going to kind of secure that A site for the team. But in the meantime, look at Torquota, didn't want to get that wrong. Torquota just hanging out, sitting on C side, completely uncontested, and straight back to that 2-cap advantage for myRevenge.
Yeah, and you need that player of Torquota. He may not be the most exciting player, but he's just got to sit there, lock down the site in case there's that one guy who gets the back spawn. So at the moment, we're still seeing these guys kind of battling out towards B. It looks like ESC have the numbers maybe to take it, but we'll see if Donut can do some work. And I think they've got enough players in there they can actually get this one taken over, and they need to. Looking at the tickets, 127 to 101. At the moment, myRevenge making it hard work for ESC here.
Yeah, and a real kind of the forefront of that we see Donut, didn't want to pronounce that wrong, 7 kills, 5 deaths. And he's the man, I've seen him running around, and he's the man who's not necessarily moving the most. he got to that B site and didn't really need to move, as he kind of just held off ESC kind of charging down that corridor. And yet again, I'm looking at that, ESC hanging out outside, obviously trying to top up their tans, and maybe need to kind of get a wiggle on and get in towards these sites. In the meantime, AD's just going to take down A as soon as ESC kind of start considering a push onto B.
Yeah, exactly that. You said it perfectly. They had to have kind of been a little bit more forceful with their push towards B, because at the moment they're being back-capped constantly, and ESC struggling a little bit now. But I don't know, overall, it's still a bit of a back-and-forth game. ESC down a good chunk of tickets. myRevenge are very fast on the rotates. They're happy to go for the outward side, but Turtle here, aka
I'm interested
Jera.
in Doobie, actually. Doobie might be able to do some magic here on this A site.
He could. Depends, he's got the AK, he could certainly do the close range work, so it's down to him though.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's going to be actually capturing that flag and quite swiftly. Only person to really question him, actually there's 2 players around him to question him. As he just has a rocket fly past him, flag is going to be secured. Nice play from him, and that's going to be just the 1 on the board for ESC. And in the meantime, myRevenge still looking very strong on the defensive. And the question I have for you, Lauren, is are we not seeing enough action on that outside area? Admittedly, it's very vulnerable, but it's such a kind of critical route you need to consider. That kind of A to C kind of roam, which I think we've seen a lot more from myRevenge and not so much from ESC.
myRevenge seem happier to try things that may take a little bit more time because they probably have just a couple more tickets. You know, once you get above, you know, maybe a 10, 20 ticket advantage, you have the feasibility of going for the longer rotates. You don't have to rush it, but a 1v1 coming down on A could really start helping out one of the sides here. And Talker just 180s round, takes down Doopy, and that's going to start hurting. So that's going to be a triple cap coming in for myRevenge. This is the problem here, and Doopy furious about it all.
Evidently not a happy bunny. So we do see a trip cap. It's going to be short-lived, though. I think Jera's going to be on that C site. And I believe it's going to be Hupsucks and his partner in crime going to be looking to get some sort of frag over towards this C site as well. Actually, using the engineer class to kind of... Oh, there's the Levolution we know and love, making that bridge a little less safe to stand on. Looking to get a pick, does so quite nicely using that CZ as well. So actually, seeing the engineer class, is that testament to the way this is going at the moment? Look at these tickets falling away from ESC right now, and a team we expected to really be on top of this.
They should have been from the very start, but kills coming definitely towards the myRevenge side. They're playing a better game. We're finally seeing Jera waking up a bit, but it looks like myRevenge are just a little bit smarter, a little bit faster on the rotates, a little bit quicker than the others. And you know, credit where it's due. 20 tickets left for ESC. They're struggling to get a 2-1 at any point. They've constantly had players in by B, but none close enough to the flag just yet. The hipfire comes in from wall, but only slows them down. But at the end of the day, myRevenge don't need to worry too much. They can play the retake game here, and it'll work out perfectly for them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing, the retake game. Right now, we do see A and B actually be secured by the kind of crippled ESC side, and maybe too little too late. There are only 19 tickets left. We're going to have to just see how far this is going to get them. Not very far. I'm seeing four members thrown on by myRevenge, and it's looking to extend it. Nice actual play from Laguna with a cheeky double with the AEK, and he's going to get away constantly on this defense back on towards B. And like we said, B is going to be a complete bloodbath, and right now, I mean, myRevenge look very, very kind of confident and strong in kind of keeping ESC out.
Yeah, and I've got to say, ESC then just got absolutely ripped to shreds. Near on squad wipe. Tofi and Doobie, the last two are like trying to make some sort of stand out of this, and they're doing a great job, but I don't know how long they can keep this up. With only 7 tickets, they've not been able to turn these kills into a sight, and that's the bigger picture here. 4 tickets left, and even if myRevenge take their time on the respawning in, those tickets are going to get low enough that it might be game over here in the first half very, very soon. 2 tickets remaining, A and B in the hands respectively. But it looks like maybe there's a turnaround here. Look at this. We've got the likes of Jera heading out towards C.
You're a dreamer, Lauren.
I'm trying, but I don't know. They're holding on well, but they can barely afford anything.
Yeah, barely afford anything. A trip cap does help, but I think it may be a little short-lived. We are going to see quite a heavy bleed. Nice response, though, from, I believe it's Torcotta.
Yep.
Just hanging around that A site. He's going to have a lot of people hunting for his blood, but he's going to be around just long enough to stop that trip cap from happening and putting a bit of a bandage on that very, very heavy bleed. So looking not bad at the moment. Still 2 tickets. I don't know how ESC is still alive right now. You see Jera going down, as did Hupsucks, and surely, quite surely, there you go. As I said it, we do see that come to a close. Obviously, it's 80, a lot better than 100, but it's still a real big mountain to climb for the second half.
Yeah, and we generally say on earmark, 80 is around the kind of tickets that if it's above that, it starts becoming a little impossible. If it's below it, you know, game on. On the line there, but myRevenge had a really unique style. You mentioned the CZ play coming out. Yeah. I especially saw it in the hands of Wall, Torcotta, a couple of the others running with it, and they're sitting on ridiculously good scores. The hip fire from that gun is pretty impressive. I've really not looked into it too much, quite personally. We saw it in use once prior, and it was good. You know, it played really well, and I'm trying to think if it was ESC actually running it. I'm not too sure, but the guns, the way they played it, very well done. They played the close range game, so rather than...
I mean, we were talking about that before the game, weren't we? You're absolutely spot on. We were saying, you know, is this a map we actually are going to see kind of a little bit of this kind of close range, close quarters SMG play? And it's exactly what myRevenge did, and look at the tickets. It's
pretty damn impressive. 80 tickets there. I've got to say, ESC will have to do what they're doing right at the end of the game pretty early. You know, they're going to have to come up with these 2-1 holds. They constantly struggled on B because those close range weapons, those CZs, just ripped them to shreds every time they went towards it.
Well, they lost the hipfire game. That's what happened.
Pretty much. You know, the outside game was being won by ESC when they were going on those long rotates around the side occasionally, putting the players out there. As soon as they started moving towards the site, couldn't get it. So I want to really keep tabs on the myRevenge side, see what they do this time, because 80 tickets isn't far for myRevenge to fall. For ESC to fall. It's a bit of a close one. So once we get back into this, I'm not too sure what to expect. I think that ESC are going to have to really step up here and kind of smooth things out in whatever was going wrong originally, because 80 tickets is a huge deficit. So ESC will be starting on the Russian side. myRevenge will be on the Chinese side. I definitely want to have a little look through those guns that myRevenge have been running with. So it looks like they've actually switched them up. We're not seeing it completely in play this time. So maybe it's only what they like using on the Russian side. I don't know. It's a really weird choice. Let's see if it's on the other side at all. No, they've all kind of switched out on this one. So unique start. We're even seeing a support player. Yeah,
I was about to say.
Very Epsilon style. Asterix normally picks this one up for them. And oh, look at this position. He's great. A beautiful overwatch on towards that B site here. This could really start hurting the opposition. You can see the crossfire coming down. And let's see how this one goes. So obviously, at the moment, myRevenge have a chance in this, but it looks like they're losing out in the 1v1s.
Yeah, and that's something we know ESC are capable of. They really are the aimers at the moment. Really strong individual players. We were saying that earlier. Talking of individual players, actually see Benny, nice, coming up with a double with that ace. Looking for a third as well, does so. And so that's ESC kind of cracking into that site. Still, that hasn't stopped myRevenge from looking exceptional, getting that B site locked down yet again. I mean, I was expecting maybe to see an ESC early cap, but I mean, with B already under myRevenge control, we know how well they can defend it.
Yeah, that was not sloppy, I'd say, from ESC, but they should have turned it into a site. And so many times they'll get these kills, but they won't get the flag down. Finally, they start turning it over. They have 4 players there. They might even get a triple cap if Benny's fast enough and as Hupsucks comes back to defend the A flag. But we're going to have to find out if he can really hold on to this one, because Hupsucks is going to be a big player in this. It depends on where they go, actually. Look at these respawns. They are dire for myRevenge. Really southern, really far out. Got a one-man split towards C, not going to work. And I think A is going to get the bigger hit here.
Yeah, look to be turning their affection towards this A side. Let's see what comes up for Donut at the moment. He's going to be heading towards Hupsucks. Hupsucks actually does have the engineer class, I believe, so we see a couple of rockets going towards their location. Nothing's going to connect, though, and there is a big swarm of myRevenge players on this A site trying to avert this triple cap from happening. But maybe... Actually, no, very wise play. myRevenge, yeah, they're off straight away from B. We only lost 1 player on that rotate through A, and now this is going to be real damage to Tofi on that ESC, the B defense for ESC. And Tofi actually has got a partner in crime now in the form of Jera, but I don't think actually myRevenge... This was looking good for them, but look at this. We're seeing a complete wipeout now. Jera among the few remaining, and I'm not really going to say I'm inspired at the moment by myRevenge, despite obviously that early ticket lead.
Let's see how myRevenge turn this one around, though. 137 to 109 at the moment. It's not a huge deficit, but it's certainly something that will keep you looking. And now it's going to come down to a 1v1 out on A. Hupsucks in a far greater position, actually picking up the CZ3A1 as well. So it could come down to a bit of a tricky one this time. It looks like Addy knows that, nades up, tries to cover it off, and A is going to be the next big target for myRevenge.
Yeah, you've got to keep in mind, guys, if you have just joined us, there is a very strong ticket threshold in favor of myRevenge. So obviously, you just got to reach that 100, and it is good game in this first map. Very nice play, actually, from myRevenge side at the moment, opening up that site. Hupsucks going down because of it. Oh no, who was I watching there? Tofi goes down to that CZ, and you're talking about that CZ. It really is just causing damage in these close quarter encounters.
It really is, and it looks like the 3-man stack out on towards B is going to start coming into effect, and you've got to keep watching for the ESC side. If that Russian team on the left side of your screens drop below 80 tickets, they have lost the first map. At the moment, Tofi looks like he wants to hold on to it, comes around towards B, takes down the likes of Torkotta, and kind of claims that one for himself. And at the moment, we really are just seeing ESC slowing down the pace, playing their own game pretty much, and just constantly going for those back caps. So the likes of Doobie heading over towards A now in a 1v2. He's going to have to work damn hard. He's getting shut down from Torka. But at the moment, they don't need to worry too much. It's just, pushing out for these 1 caps. God, that CZ is ridiculous. Just keeps the opponents constantly on their feet, and it's allowing Hupsucks to push a little further forward, maybe go for the triple cap himself.
Well, I was going to say, this is starting to come a bit more myRevenge. So it's going to see that C go into ADI. It's going to be Donut, though, to respond. I don't think he's having really any of it, just trying to defend his teammate who's going to be capturing that C site. Obviously, A in their control, going to get that A and C, which is really, it's not ideal, really, Laura. And actually, it may not even be A, actually, as Hupsucks is kind of on top of that one for ESC. Going to get his squad spawning on him as well. And so they'll have just had a trade there, kind of A for C. But actually, there's a lot of blood going down. I think it's ESC blood as well on that B site. Donut, the man behind it all, he's going to go down as well. And look at that, almost a full squad wipe, courtesy of ESC. Yeah,
ESC starting to warm up here, it seems. 72 tickets left with myRevenge. Obviously there's a lot of tickets still to be played with here for myRevenge, but they need to get into this game. They've been struggling. They've been winning out in the 1v1s, but not converting to sites. And this heavy stack going towards the outside area looks as though myRevenge might fake out, maybe towards A if they got there, but Jera holding them back with the double ace 23 in action. And this guy is on a mission. He wants to prove that he's certainly worthy of that name that he holds. And this could be a trip cap, unless maybe Torka can stop this one.
Yeah, ESC really a whole other team going into this half. It's quite inspiring to see just how one switch of the sides can completely change the team. Because right now, as well as this individual play, they're seeing seeming so much more like a unit. And myRevenge starting to crumble under that pressure. A and B quite safely in the hands of ESC and looking for that. I think they're going for that trip cap as well. They just want to get this ticket, a real bleed on, because they know just how much of a kind of mountain they have to climb to get back into this game. Obviously, it's such a difficult task, especially when Laguna's making plays like that. Nice shutdown from Benny. And actually, look at this outside area. ADI, this is the outside area we were kind of talking about before, or AD, sorry, on this outside area. And that's something we didn't see ESC do so much, but yet again, myRevenge really kind of taking advantage of that outside push.
Well, they're going to have to. They've only got 36 tickets left. They have to take advantage of every possibility here. They still have C. It looks like the challenge from ESC is going to come down towards A. So the likes of AD in a good spot there, but badly timed, but regardless picks up the kill. And they just need to weather this attack out. If they can hold A and C, which they're splitting correctly, 2-2, they could do well here.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting close, really close. Obviously, just a couple of tickets left for the Russian side. And ESC know it. See, that's a kind of a bit more passive in their play right now. Hupsucks is actually kind of behind enemy lines on this C site. He's going to be under heavy scrutiny, getting away with a scrap of health. Nice play with the, just taking people down with the law. Obviously laying down the law. He's going to be opening up this C site as well. He's going to be still getting shot down by, I believe it's Torcotta, but he's going to get him as well. Real wide open play on that C site. But in the meantime, we see a lot of members from the myRevenge side heading towards B.
And they have to. It was a clean exchange on B, and they got the better spawns going off the back of it, ESC. 30 tickets to 103. 80 is a threshold for ESC on the Russian team. This game is certainly on. B is coming down to an absolute bloodbath. And Jera's finally coming to the action. His teammates are falling around him. He needs to go clutch here. This is pretty damn close.
And explosives being used beautifully there by Jera, taking down kind of the star player right now for myRevenge. He's going to fall, and now B is under some serious tension right now. Looking to come back out on the outside. myRevenge kind of looking to get in. In the meantime, though, real nice positioning from ESC. They're going to be happy with that, where they are, setting themselves up. They just need to hold it now, kind of dig in, get their feet in kind of comfortable footholds, and not really let anyone from myRevenge in. And looks to be getting questioned right now by Wooly.
Yeah, it certainly is, but at the moment, ESC coming out on top. They did not hedge their bets. They didn't push to C, and I think that could have been the final push near on from myRevenge. They left it a little bit too little too late. Hardly any tickets between these guys, but at the moment, a 2-1 hold in favor to ESC. Those tickets are falling away from myRevenge.
Yeah, myRevenge, they must have been so confident coming to the second half, and watching these tickets slip away is going to be devastating. Really not going to be happy with that one. Nice, though, play from ESC. They seem to have kind of, like you said, they woke up, kind of brought their A game eventually, and it's amazing. You know, we said before the game, before on air, we were like, 80 tickets, 100 tickets, that's kind of where we say the game's not going to come back. And right now, we see the GGs in chat. It's happened. Complete shutting us down right there. And the GGs in chat, and I have to say that was amazing from ESC, or was really that just myRevenge being a little bit making a big slip up?
I think it was a bit of both, though.
Yeah.
myRevenge occasionally looked dangerous, and then they were like, okay, we're panicking now because we don't know what to do. Let's just throw bodies at B and hope it works out. It's not really going to work. It was kind of
lambs to the slaughter scenario, wasn't it?
And then you saw the likes of, I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was Hupsucks on A, literally just going to town. He got like a 3-man. He sadly went for the exchange in the end, you know, when they both kill each other rather than the clean kill. But nevertheless, it was a very close action game, very hard work to do. And I'm impressed with the ESC being able to turn that one around so drastically. But coming into Goldmud, one of the fastest close-range maps we occasionally get to see, because it is quite a rarity, I don't know who's going to have the advantage, because let's bear in mind, myRevenge, very solid with the engineer class when they have that CZ in play. They can take down the walls, they did that in the last map. But ESC also adopt a little bit of the style of Epsilon occasionally running with the, you know, the support now and then, or just, you know, these slightly unique plays. And I don't know, I think this could go 1-1. From what we saw on the first map, as long as myRevenge don't completely fluff it, they have the better play style on Goldmud Railway. So I think this is going to be a very close game.
Yeah, well, I'd like it to be, no doubt about that. I feel like this is a map that really will kind of support myRevenge's playstyle, which was this kind of roaming and kind of, they had a really nice defensive setup, especially in the first half. I was certainly not in the second. Yeah. Yeah, definitely something we're going to see hopefully some more of. I don't want to see this being a kind of whitewash like ESC were playing a bit poorly in that first half, and now they're back and they're just going to completely slaughter myRevenge. Obviously, myRevenge's side, we haven't heard too much from in the past. It's going to be nice to see if they can climb it further on through this bracket. So I think it's just because I'm a sucker for an underdog, let's be honest. myRevenge, they're an underdog with teeth, so they can do damage, and we've seen that in that first half. I really want to see that carry on into Railway.
Yeah, I think they can do it as well. I think this is a map that they could provide a great game on. I'm hoping we see that, if they make sure they play the ground game rather than, leaving all the structures up in place. And we're going to have to wait and see. I think we are almost ready to get underway here into the second map. Everyone's on the server. Are you on the server, Alex?
I am, believe it or not.
Life is good. So we can start looking at this one. It's a map that we all pretty much know by now. There's not much to say about this.
Well, I love it. It's one of my favorites, just because there's an incredible amount of rooftops and there's an incredible amount of aim involved, which makes me a happy bunny.
So basically, on the Russian side, it's going to be ESC. On the Chinese side, it will be myRevenge. And I want to see from the Russian side, Hupsucks especially is running with the engineer class. Will he go dig style and take down the route towards A and B, or is this just so he can run with that CZ?
I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think you need a few more engineer classes to pull a dig, but obviously just with that one, maybe he's just going to be that kind of constant pressure on myRevenge's back at these bomb sites. Oh, say flags. Sorry, that's my search and destroy nature coming out. I'm seeing some windows being destroyed by Donut. That's quite interesting.
Live. Hold on, no, they're not going live. They didn't go live. Come back to me.
Restart. I was a bit interested by his window destruction there. He was just popping windows with a Magnum. I was like, what? Does this benefit him in some way? I'm not sure. Magnum to the window, but
that's how it works. That's the next gen thing. You'll see it start coming through in the A series. And,
yeah, okay. Window destruction, right? So we're gonna get that countdown once again. Now, Lauren,
had to change sides.
What are we gonna see in regards to control? Obviously, I can only assume we're going to see ESC taking that A site early, and obviously myRevenge onto that C. But I mean, C is going to change hands an awful lot.
The thing I want to look at is why they're running with a double engineer for myRevenge. Let's get into game because they are now ready. Have fun, good luck, all being said. Now, the thing I wanted to see actually was from myRevenge on this side rather than ESC is, do they do the digging testing of taking down some of these walls, opening up these paths for the close range gameplay? I think they will, considering they have double of these. And we've got Dome.
I mean, that and we saw Wally. But this time, obviously, with the help of the engineer class.
I can't wait to see this one kick off. So we are now live into the game.
Boom! And walls destroyed.
Wow, this is very different. I think it's to allow Torquata for an aggressive peak. I'm not too sure what that was for, really. It doesn't quite add up. They're going to walk away with probably C and B, which is the standard start. But all in all, bit of a unique one. Benny now back around to the backside, going to go worm his way in towards C, whereas B, well defended by the myRevenge side, whereas C, not so much so.
Yeah, C's going to be falling very quickly. I think that was just a one-on-one, and Benny, as expected, really coming out on the top of that one, ESC. I think myRevenge need to not look for these 1v1s. They need to leave themselves in kind of the numbers advantage almost all the time, and that's something they can do and are capable of, as we see now Laguna's on the hunt, looking to find Benny, does so with ease, and that's going to bring the C site back to myRevenge's hands. So looking for that BC hold. Right now, it feels like ESC is starting to pack up some numbers towards that B site, or maybe considering crossing the road. A bit of road safety coming in by Doobie. He's not going to cross just yet in that house, and they're going to be heading towards B.
Yeah, but myRevenge are caught in between a rock and a hard place. Laguna tries to dodge the bullet. It's not going to happen. They kind of got surrounded on the B side, didn't push out aggressively enough to challenge the opponents. Now 80 out in the open, gets the tag, gets the frag towards Tofi. Not going to get on to Doobie, though, and B should swing hands. But, oh, look at this spawn in for Jera right at the far back. This is going to hurt the opponents more than anything. He doesn't want C. He just should go for the kills here.
Yeah, he's just going to sit at the top of that, pick away. He's not really got quite a nice position there. He's going to move a little bit closer towards this hillside C site.
It's because they lost players on B. You can go for the pickup on towards C.
Yeah, so I mean, C is good. I mean, A and B now actually under Chinese control. So Jera's going to be happy with that one. He's actually kind of behind enemy lines right now, looking to capture the C site. I think he's going to do it. No, not going to happen. Just get taken down by Laguna. We see some nades exchange as well towards this B site. So I think this is going to be the real subject to their affection right now. myRevenge are going to be quite happy with B and C yet again. And I feel like right now, myRevenge are going to maybe have a mirror of that first half on that first map.
We might just see that. I'm not too sure just yet. There is still the danger of these back spawns coming in for the Chinese side of ESC. When they come into play, you're in trouble, really. And it opens up the option of pressuring C and then rotating towards B, which is exactly what's happened. Jera's gone over towards B. He's got there. Doobie can just, pretty much be a flashing torch saying, hey, guys, we might consider going towards the site, but we're probably not going to.
So basically, are you telling me Doobie was a distraction right there?
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay, so he threw his bullets flying, just kind of running towards the C flag, and actually we saw 3 players from myRevenge kind of draw their attention over there, and that was really nice play from them. That's going to bring them the B site home and under their control, and I think they're going to be doing their very best to hold on to that. Now, positioning-wise, where are ESC going to be really looking to fight for right now, especially with this push on towards A from myRevenge?
Well, they're going to have to either... It depends. I don't have any players close enough to challenge A, so I think they're going to rotate up towards C. Maybe depend on a random spawn. They did. Doobie came down south, which wasn't great. So they're going to push back over the street, but already there are players set up, like Wall, like a couple others, who can get the shots on and deny it. So I think they're going to be stuck down to one site. C not looking so great. They might even have to just defend B here.
Yeah, nice play from myRevenge. Somehow holding to AC. Obviously, there's quite a lot of distance between those two sites. And they're going to have to spread their numbers evenly. Actually looking quite nice on her defense of this C site. Poor Ojera seems to be spawning yet again at that kind of hillside spawn. And this time it's going to be Laguna to question him. In the meantime, that site has been quite well defended. We've seen a triple cap coming up from myRevenge. And they're going to be very, very happy with that one. See a lot of members falling for ESC, spawning either side of the map. That's not really going to be great for them. Maybe going to consider capturing this A side. We do see another spawn on there, so they're going to get 3 players up against just Torquota, and I don't think he's going to be, he'd be kind of wise to challenge that, and he's not going to do that just yet. Wait for his compadres to back him up. B and C yet again under myRevenge control, and actually these tickets are starting to slip away from ESC.
They certainly are. ESC are in a little bit of trouble now. Seen Torquota actually picking up a couple of kills, Doobie being one of them. They've turned their attention back around towards it, 'cause it looks like they want to hold A and B for the vast majority and occasionally put people out towards C when necessary. Hubsuck's right in the middle of the action, has to be a little careful here. He's going to go for the revives, get him back up, needs to get the kill. He's done so. Great work from Hubsucks. That's kept them the A flag, but they've lost C in the meantime. Not enough players, not enough kind of pressure. Spells trouble.
It certainly does. Look at this. Constant returning to that 2-cap advantage. myRevenge are just really, they're causing this kind of hemorrhaging effect on towards ESC right now. Not looking great in regards to tickets, but obviously, yet again, Toffee, first man on the scene. He seems to be doing absolutely fantastic work for ESC. They're getting the sites, they're just not holding on to them. So right now, yet again, that B site's probably going to be changing hands. Oh, myRevenge have other plans. Laguna's onto him on the defense yet again. And really, really just ESC spawns are just everywhere right now.
Look at Torquota's spawn, though. He's right behind ESC. He's got one, he goes for the second, gets denied, but he bought time, he got the information, got the spots through, and it's kept ESC so far back. 110 to 55. This is looking a little bit dangerous for ESC here. They need to kind of step up. Good kind of work going around the long way from Hubsucks and Doobie, but there's already AD there looking like he wants to challenge. Yeah,
and he's in a great position to do so on the top of that rooftop. That rooftop you can see in towards A, hold that C site, and even catch the cross towards B. So he's in the right place at the right time, looking to catch one. Oh, and Benny picks up a real frag with that ace. And that's a frag he really needed to get, because right now that's going to open up the cross over that road towards the A and B site. And that's something they're looking to do. We see ESC kind of coming like a little red wave towards the A and B sites, looking to set their affection towards that B site. And really only falling to AD to return.
And this could be a complete triple cap to turn around for ESC. They pushed across perfectly in clinical precision, making myRevenge have to work on this. And at the moment, C is going to be picked up for myRevenge. Only 40 tickets left, but they're going to fall fast, actually, unless myRevenge can swarm B right here, right now. This could be almost game over if myRevenge pick this side up, because there's no turning this one around. And, smart play from Toby and Benny going for C, though.
Well, I mean, you say smart play from Tommy and Bennett, but look at this. Donut has just jumped straight on towards B, brought B back under control, and they're all going to rotate. 3 players now from myRevenge going to be heading straight over towards that C site. And C site now, but the way this site is looking right now, it's very open, wide open, contrasting to maybe how it started. Yeah, we see the engineer class really did it. I think maybe we're kind of seeing a bit of justification for that early engineer class. Wally's actually held on to it, so he's actually done absolutely amazingly well with it. Look at this guy go. And actually sat on 12 for 5 alongside 80, the 2 players who are just roaming around engineer and assault class respectively, and they are just destroying ESC.
Absolute massacre at the moment. There's a big push coming in towards B from ESC. They're going to try and put as many numbers and bodies in towards this site, but myRevenge are ready and waiting. Laguna with the double. Jer and Doobie go down, and B is not done just yet. We've got players from myRevenge moving in, looking to take it back. Torquota does the job towards Hubsucks, and that's B back in their hands. And this game is certainly not over, and these back spawns are so close to each other.
They're almost spawning directly behind their enemy, and Jera's actually been given a little bit of leeway to head towards this B side. Jera, I think he's actually going to come into contact with, I think it's going to be Laguna, and knowing Jera, he's going to come out on top of this one. Does actually catch a glimpse of him, Laguna, trying to catch him off guard. Doesn't manage to take him out just yet. Nade going towards his location as well. And actually, Jera on the engineer class as well. So really, lots of SMGs going on right now. And look at these sites changing hands right now. C back under myRevenge control, looking to secure B as well, does so. And now almost like back to square one. ESC forced all the way back towards that A site. And we're going to see those spawns around C as well.
Yeah, it's a 2-2 split from ESC right now. They've won out on towards the C site. They Kind of went for the road presence. They're winning it. Let's be serious here. And myRevenge could get triple capped again. This is going back and forth. Fast-paced, close action combat. This is what I expected from these teams. And this is why I think myRevenge might come out slightly better. But now it's a scrappy game. And they're going to have to pull themselves back together. Torkoda trying to pick up on towards C. He's going to get the first frag, but there's going to be Pew Pew Turtle, a.k.a. Jera, coming around the side, does the work with that CZ3A1, angle grip to boot, and it just does the damage. Now B is probably the next site for myRevenge, though.
Yeah, and look at that. This seems to be ESC. ESC's mission is just to kind of get down to like 5-2 tickets and then start clawing the tickets away. Look at this. Suddenly the bleed is on for myRevenge, and they're going to be just battling 4 tickets left for ESC, and that is not going to stop them. And for some reason, they are really looking for this triple cap right now. Look at towards A site is Doobie. Still 3 or 4 players now all spawning around that B site looking for that triple cap, and the spawns are going to be right next to C.
myRevenge going to be pushed at the last second again. 2 tickets left. ESC can't really spawn people in. They're going to cost a ticket each. They can't really afford it. So every kill that comes myRevenge's way is a bonus. But here we go. C is myRevenge's. B is up for grabs, and they're going to make a stand out of this one. 3 players now remaining. The nades are coming in strong, and ADI doing the job. 1 ticket left. I don't think there's enough to be done, but 80 to 54. That's a big difference. And you know, once again, a little bit of a close game.
I don't, but that was, just for people that weren't constantly staring at the number like I was, that was 85 tickets to 4. And then ESC pulled out 40 tickets out of somewhere and brought it down. That is amazing. 54 left on for them in the end for myRevenge. Obviously, that's a lot worse than 85 or whatever it was looking like at the start. So that's really impressive stuff from them. And we know what ESC did in the second half last map. I really don't want to rule it out of happening again, but I want to see myRevenge take this one.
Yeah, I really don't know myself. This is a bit of a hard game to predict. This is unbelievable. Wall there, 17 to 9, 20 to 11 for Laguna. Every player doing real damage, and Jera only on 10 to 14, so not having the best game of his life there. Eventually ran with the CZ 3A1. Guys at home, let me know your thoughts on that weapon. I need to look into it more. I haven't seen the stats in comparison to others, but it certainly looks like it's a bit of a contender for the close range combat sort of exchanges, and I'm looking forward to it now. But all in all, if myRevenge come off to a good start here, I think they overextended on some of their triple caps. They could have just locked down a 2-1 and kept the opposition back where they were. You know, once you know where their spawns are coming in for ESC, which were obviously up towards the north behind the C flag, they could have just kept in there the whole day and just, you know, utilized that perfectly. Quite lucky on some of the spawns as well, I'm going to put it that way. You know, they spawned in behind
I did think the same, yeah.
them a couple of times, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. But 54 tickets, not drastic, but then again, you know, 1 ticket can make all the difference. So I don't know what to expect yet, but if, you know, ESC come into this game with the style they did before, there's only 4 members of ESC. Woo, guys!
Whoop, whoop. But I mean, while they wait for that player, I need to talk to you a little bit about the rooftops, because I mean, the last time I saw this game played, it was just complete contrast to this. In this game we just watched, we saw constantly A, C, B, almost all of the sites changing hands. Obviously A a little less than the others, but I felt like this one, it was constantly manic mayhem in that mid area. Previously, I've seen A and B held under, I mean, for 40, 50 seconds, even into that minute area, just holding both of those sites. And I'm not exactly sure what was going on in this game that meant that they kind of changed hands almost constantly.
Well, a lot of the random spawns coming into place.
Around that C area.
Yeah, you know, a lot of them kind of was a bit of a factor. I just want to make sure we're all good. Yeah, so obviously the back spawns coming around the back of C do certainly cause a lot of issues, but A and B is only good to be held as long as you're playing a long-range game. So when you look over towards the myRevenge weapon set, they're not really running with the angle grip or the muzzle brake. They've generally got the stubby grips and the longer range the shorter range weapons that work perfectly once they get pushed, but it means that they can't always keep teams at arm's length. So I don't know. For me, if ESC can get in the door, but it doesn't mean they can always kind of stay there. They can cross the road, they can probably get the kills at long range, but the way myRevenge plays very close range is very dependent on, you know, how they force it towards. So for me, it's just the myRevenge gun setup. I need to really look into that CZ3A1 because I have no idea why it's able to do the things it's been doing.
It seems to just have the damage at kind of that mid-range as well as up close.
It's ridiculous.
Kind of mid-range, long-range picks. So obviously we're going to be going into the second half. Hopefully, did you see the fifth ESC member return?
I didn't, but I'm looking up gun stats because I'm confused and scared.
Let's have a look. Are you going to give me some incredible statistic about the CZ?
I think it's got the same fire rate as the FAMAS almost. So that's what I look at. Can you just keep your eyes on the server and let me know if it goes live? Because I really do want to find out about this one.
Oh, tell me all about it.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. Yeah, it's got the same fire rate as the FAMAS. So.
Oh, the banned weapon.
Yeah.
Is this? Are we seeing maybe a replacement then? Is this people looking for something
like
to replace the FAMAS?
Yeah, and it does good damage, close range. It's strong recoil upwards, which can be negated with certain attachments. So for me, it certainly could be a replacement for the FAMAS. Something to look at. I'm going to try and compare the stats completely and utterly once I'm done here, like the recoil patterns. But it's certainly something that looks like it's got a place here, and we're seeing it constantly go into play. The only problem is that it can't be utilized, I don't think, with the medic class, which is probably the only reason we don't see it as much as others. Yeah, it's only as an engineer gun. So
that's maybe why we're seeing this kind of spur of engineers right now.
I think that's why. I think it's kind of the adaptation of it. I think it's not a bad thing. Obviously, if you're a medic and you have that gun, then you've got sustain and a lot of damage, which is kind of a little OP. But then if you negate one of those two, or you remove one of those two, it becomes a little bit more balanced. So I think that's not a bad addition, actually.
I'm liking that.
It works well. It's pretty damn effective, and I think it could be not a replacement necessarily for the FAMAS, but certainly something that can kind of pick up where it left off.
Yeah, and I think it's really nice to see a bit of class variation. I've always been a big believer in seeing those engineer classes. And a bit of support. I mean, we saw, I believe it was a member from myRevenge, I think it was Wally, playing the support class to catch up for the cross, and it does have its place. And I think that's something maybe we're going to see a lot more of. You've seen the CZ. I don't think there's going to be any necessarily brand new weapon discoveries, but I think we might be seeing a little bit more of that support class as well.
Yeah. I'm looking at the recoil pattern a little bit. It's a little bit more stable apart from the first shot. So I'm surprised we're not seeing more of the angle grip alongside it. Let me just make sure we are ready here. But yeah, I do like looking into the weapons and the choices they make. I think it is quite important to keep up to date with, why these guys choose these weapons and, what they go for. So it seems that they like the stubby grip and the muzzle brake on here. But, that's down to personal preference sometimes. As I said, I choose guns that don't necessarily always work logically.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense to my simple different
illogical weapons.
It's true though. It's like the age-old thing in COD. The Tiger camo will always give you better damage by like 0.5%. It's just a.
I mean, it's all known, and by crouching, of course, you're increasing your accuracy by an incredible amount.
It's huge amounts. Also, Golden AK gives you a couple of extra bullets in the clip.
Yeah, hidden bullets that you're not actually aware of.
You do. The Duffer actually genuinely believed that for quite some time. I
don't doubt that for a second.
Not Duffer from Streamgasm, Irish. Slow
Irish. Duffer from Reason Gaming.
It's Duff from Reason Gaming. I miss Duff. It needs to be more Duff in the world. But regardless of that, I think we are ready to get underway in the second half here.
All right.
We have been seeing the players obviously dropping in and out occasionally, but ESC now will have a deficit of 54 tickets. So look at it this way. If they drop below 54, they are in trouble. And look at this cheeky start. They have gone for the cheekiest of cheeky starts. They're able to capture C before the game starts. Welcome to cheekiness on the ESC side, the scumbags. It's what you get with this spawn pretty much. It's the same both sides, and then you get a little bit of an easier path. And we are seeing those engineers in play, so very similar start. And this is why Benny can now get a little bit of a spot through and keep eyes if anyone's pushing into the buildings. But wow, myRevenge are really stacking out towards that site, and there might be a trip cap coming out for ESC if they're not careful.
Yeah, myRevenge are selling on the back foot right now. Looking to change that is Wally, actually. He's kind of sprinted all the way around like a sneaky ninja. And looking to take down Seaside. Other plans, though. Look at the positioning. Oh, hello. Can we draw some attention to... Jera. Support class. I was talking all about the support class, and he is taking a very happy position all the way at that end of the map.
Do you remember what I said at the start, right? So Duke's probably in chat right now. Duke... I think Asterix's spot has been found out by Dearest Pew Pew Turtle. This is exactly what Epsilon do on this map, to the letter.
Is it spotting? Is it my majority of just kind of giving that intel as well as the bullets?
They can, okay, well, once the engineers on the side of ESC do their job, right, so once they take all these walls down, he gets pretty much free reign to do what he likes. However, the only issue is they don't have players supporting him, so he might get some pressure coming out from the likes of Laguna, and he might have to be a little bit more careful here, but still, all in all, it basically means...
Oof.
he can rip people to shreds. And there we go. That's what you get. RPG to the face.
Wow.
But yes,
Wally.
that is a very much an Epsilon strategy that they've adapted a little bit, and it's clearly worked out. 148 to 116.
Yeah, very nice start from ESC. We are definitely seeing almost a replay at the moment, looking very strong at the moment. They're dropping 3 tickets so far. Unbelievable start at the moment. We see myRevenge just really falling like flies at the moment. Looking towards maybe Addy or AD. I don't want to get this wrong. ADI, I've called him everything. Let's go with Addy, as he's going to be pushing around this corner. Benny's there to receive. We see the squad spawning on him as well. So it looks like B is going to be the target for the myRevenge squad. They're going to be throwing 4 players at them, and that may come at a price, looking at Hupsuck's position, maybe towards that C site.
And at the moment, we're seeing Jera coming back round on the flank. He's going to find at least 1 player if he gets there in time, but Wally, he's shot in the backside. He's not going to be doing too well here. He's still got the RPG, so certainly trying to do some work, but he's under severe pressure. And as you said, it is literally a repeat of the first map almost.
Well, you say that this is what I was talking about. You know how I was talking to you, I was saying, previously I've seen A and B held for this kind of extended period of time, and right now ESC is saying, yeah, you have, and this is what it looks like. Look at us, they're going for the trip cap as well now, courtesy of Hupsuck. So only man there to challenge him is Wally. He's in a great position, does have that RPG to maybe bring some walls down with him, but he's not going to do that just yet. So he's going to be on the hunt as well, looking to take down Hupsuck. So I think he knows he's going to be heading towards that upper area. So there could be a man behind Hupsuck any moment now. Time's going to be ticking away though, and as are those tickets. Look at that bleed going down right now. We're seeing myRevenge kind of hemorrhaging tickets right now. Not got much to answer for right now. I feel like we're just going to see actually securing that B side at the cost of C. And so I feel like right now, with only 8 tickets dropped, make it 9, ESC are just in the driving seat.
Yeah, they are, and they've adopted the 3 engineers. They like those CZs as well, apparently. Everyone running, we've even got Hupsucks from afar running with it. Ergo Grip on the go. Benny's picked it up as well. Doobie going for it. This gun, it's literally like myRevenge tried something, and then ESC were like, okay, guys, you try it. We're going to show how it really works if you want to do it properly. That's exactly what they're doing. So myRevenge are on the back foot quite drastically ahead, down to 63 tickets. And 139 in favour to the opposition. ESC trying to hold on towards B. They might be overwhelmed here, though. There's a lot of players from myRevenge making their way forward.
myRevenge must be in an absolutely shattered mindset right now. They started so well both maps, and ESC are just destroying them going into the second half. Really not a kind of phased by this early disadvantage, and ESC bringing their A game. This time going to be taking control of that B and C, leaving A in the hands of myRevenge. We're going to see kind of 4 players kind of tiptoe towards this B site. Looks like it's going to be a kind of bit of an altercation note on that A site. Benny's coming around this time, of course, looking to take down 1, make it 2 with that CZ. The CZ just seems to be putting people to sleep so fast, and with such a fast fire rate, it really is it's kind of a FAMAS V2.
Yeah, it really is. And I tried to give you guys an overview so you can see those engineer classes literally sending those rockets from A to B to C to everywhere. And at the moment, it's myRevenge coming out a little on top. 3-2 left alive here, but not really turning it into flags just yet. But there we go. B's been secured, C's on the plate. And it's a triple cap for myRevenge, but how long can they hold this when the respawns for ESC are by that B site?
Yeah, those respawns are not really helping them at the moment. Right now, though, myRevenge is going to be so happy with that trip cap. I don't think it's going to last too long, though, because we're going to see nice work from Doobie. He's going to be heading towards this B site, looking to do some damage. Not going to actually happen just yet, though. And we're seeing real strong, when myRevenge are given sites, it feels like they have to be given them now. When kind of, ESC abandon a site, and probably the right decision to be made there on that B site, myRevenge take it, and they will hold on to it. But not going to happen just yet. B and C, look at that wipe. Almost a 5-man wipe right there. myRevenge all dumped onto spawn timers, and the tickets still trickling away. 30 tickets remaining right now. They're almost looking like myRevenge on their last legs already. Obviously, 5 minutes still left on the clock. I don't think we're going to need all of that time ticking away right now, as myRevenge looking incredibly weak. Well, or maybe more of a case of ESC looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, ESC literally saw their game style and, all right, we'll do the same back to you, screw it, why not? And they're doing it better. They're faster on the rotates, they're smarter with it. It's a credit to a slightly more well-practiced team. I don't think it's anything that they'll be too upset against hearing. And Jera's pretty much back in the same spot he started off, and just not with the assault, support class. So 13 tickets left for myRevenge. They have really let this one slip. And considering they could have walked away with an over, maybe an 80 to 100 ticket advantage if they really locked it down. They're going to get a triple cap again, but I don't think they've got enough really to work with now. No,
these trip caps are kind of a little bit of salt into the wound, really, saying, look what you could have had. This is what you could have won, almost. myRevenge going to be a little upset with that one, seeing that bleed started to stop Seeing that 10 ticket freeze for a couple of seconds is going to just be, yeah, like I said, salt in the wound. Let's see what's going on now just for Hupsucks. As he said, he went towards his B side. Got the engineer class and that CZ in hand as well expected. And he's actually going to secure that as well. Let's see what he does with it. To take down one as well with that. Actually, he's rocking the ace. I'll tell a horrible porcupine.
How could you?
And yeah, we're seeing that tickets tick away. Five tickets still remaining anyway for the Chinese side. And myRevenge, this is looking to be a 2-map walkover. I say walkover, this comeback is real. ESC are just putting, I mean, we are feeling so guilty right now. I mean, both maps we've said, oh, 80 tickets, 100 tickets, it's not going to happen. And ESC are just completely shattering our dreams of an easy game. And they're showing us just how well a strong mindset, and I'm sure strong aim helps as well, can really bring a game home.
Well, 3 tickets now remaining. ESC just flooding bodies in. The tickets are getting a little low, but 2 left on the board. It's not a great deal to work with, but Laguna's doing the job. They need to get A turned over very, very quickly here to be able to maintain, and they've done it. They've got 1 ticket still left to play with. And B-side being hammered home. myRevenge suddenly remember how to play Battlefield, but oh, what a grenade comes in from Laguna, taking down the majority of the opposition, but I don't know if they can really stop this now. 1 ticket left. They've got to get them down to under 54. They're going for a triple cap. I don't know what to say here. Surely not. Surely not is exactly what you need to be saying right here. The tickets are going to be falling with this trip cap. Suddenly maybe the sweaty palms of ESC are going to wake up with just 1 ticket and only Wally standing. Never has a man felt quite so much pressure right now. And he knows exactly what's going on. He's going to take down Toffee. We're going to jump into this one as he's going to be all left alone, heavily tagged. He's going to finally fall. And myRevenge are well aware what that means. And we're going to see a very happy ESC with that flag being captured. Wow, down to around 62 tickets. That got a little too close at the end then, I feel. But all in all, GG well played is said. And even Hupsuck saying, nice comeback. Sadly, not enough. But yeah, close games. But I've got to say it again. If only myRevenge did that a minute ago when they actually could have won the game rather than 1 ticket left. It's really hard to believe. Yeah, it's really hard to kind of call with that one. It feels like, if anything, it's just ESC kind of getting overly confident, like, oh, it's over, and seeing those triple caps come in. But they were coming in through that mid-game as well. We saw some mid-game trip caps, which really kind of didn't last long, very short-lived. But regardless, the fact that they happened suggests maybe they should have been happening earlier in that game. Yeah, it's pretty much a too little too late moment there, sadly, for myRevenge. But they showed some impressive stuff. They forced ESC to play out of their comfort zone, to pick up that CZ for themselves and run their own style, which is fair enough. They made it a little bit different. They made it a little bit harder to play for the team, but still. All in all, ESC looking good going through to the next matchup. I think they're going to face off against Infamous. I'm going to double check right now if we can do so. I think so, at least. I think it was Infamous who won this one. Yes, Infamous won 2-0, and they actually won before we even started. So checking on the bracket, there we have it. Infamous up against ESC. We're going to stick on board with that one. I feel it's best to kind of stick up the top there. And we'll have to see how this one goes down. Obviously, there is a second chance for myRevenge. They can work their way all the way through the lowers and try and get into that final spot, because only 1 team will be able to get out of this group here. Normally it's 2. But because it's the Go4 qualification, there will only be 1, and there will be another team joining us from the Australian side of the world, Vox. So we are now 1 step closer. Down under. Another great impressions from us today. We're doing well. But regardless of that, we're going to go to a very short break. And when we're back, we'll be sticking on board with ESC, who finally warmed up to the job, up against Infamous, the French side, who used to be known for that famous play. So they might see that CZ3A1 and think, why don't we try that ourselves? But guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in 5.